Welcome to Top Solo Games. I'm J. Allen Riker, and today we are going to do a playthrough of Terminator Dark Fate. I think this game is actually kind of hard to find right now, and it's almost considered like a little gem. It's definitely, I would definitely say it's at least a gem in the rough, diamond in the rough, and it's a deck building game that is simple, is very thrilling, takes up a small amount of space, and gives you a real adventure in a very small package. This isn't the deck building game that's going to replace Eon's End or whatever your favorite deck builder is. But I was really pleasantly surprised by how this little movie tie-in game, where all the cards are pictures of things from the movies, which is like usually the, worst sign that an IP can have, at least. That's how it was when I was a kid. But this turned out to be really fun. I think I got it for like $10. I think it's kind of hard to find now. Definitely for $10, this is a value. It's got this great box. It's magnetic sealed, and it's got the instructions here. I made this little insert so that the cards don't spill all over the place. You have a huge whack of deck building cards. 182. So over 3 poker decks worth. And you get some heroes. So playing solo, I think the best way is to... I think I've played true solo. I'm trying to remember. I think the best way is to play 2, and then you get to, instead of having to alternate between them, you get to choose which one you want to use. And that gives you quite a bit of strategy. So Grace can very easily cull her deck. When you rest, you may destroy an extra card. Usually, if you don't do anything in a turn, you can rest and you can destroy 1 card. She can destroy 2. Sarah Connor gets munitions. They cost 1 less. This is a really good pair. I let Sarah have all the money and buy all the weapons. She gives them all to Grace, who then distills down to the purest deck possible. Now you also have a handful of different, I don't know if you remember Terminator Dark Fate. I think this was actually probably my second favorite Terminator movie after Terminator 2. I mean, Terminator 2 is practically a perfect, sci-fi action movie, so you're not going to beat that. None of the other movies even come close, but Dark Fate is really good. The Sarah Connor character, I think, was written and acted too tough in this movie. It comes off as kind of laughable. I think everybody else is pretty awesome in it, and the Terminator is fantastic. He can split. He has like a liquid metal sort of, or like a nano metal exterior, and then this skeleton inside. So he has an exoskeleton and an endoskeleton, and you get a few different versions you can play against. This is the second to toughest. The actual toughest is the complete one, and when you beat him, then you have to fight both the exoskeleton and the endoskeleton in the deck, and I have never even tried that because I imagine it would just get so intensely frustrating. So you'll notice that the play surface is different. I hurt my hip, and okay, so let me back it up another level. I made a video of my favorite improvised board game accessories. One of them was this tray, which I put a slice of a yoga mat in, and it became a great lap board. This yoga mat makes the card really stick. In fact, it's too sticky to play games where you have to slide cards around, like Spaceship, one of my favorite button shy games. Can't play it on this surface. Anyway, I was lifting weights and I hurt a hip. I've never done that before. I've hurt my back plenty of times, which keeps me from being able to stand or sit very easily. But with my hip, or, I could sit and lay maybe. With my hip hurt, I found that I could stand okay, but I couldn't sit for very long. So when I made the accessories video, Legend Odinson said that he was interested in doing the lap tray thing because he has trouble sitting for long periods of time at a table. So when I found myself playing all the small games that I had and busting out some new button shy games that I'd never played, I was like, okay, well now I have the material to maybe make a top lap board game video and to at least show which games I have that can play on this tray. I will put a link to this specific tray I got from Amazon. It's really affordable because it's just plastic. Okay, so I've got each character's cards. They're the standard thing where you've got your basic kind of almost junk cards. One of these is in there upside down. I'll put that on the bottom, especially since it was a negative card. So the way that you play this is you take 5 cards, you put insert your Terminator into there, and when you start out, you use 5. Now, for every damage that you do to him, if you don't kill him, you can flee when he emerges. And then the more damage you can do, the better, because you will hide it in that big of a stack of cards. So it's really fun because you can take this time or you're not able to attack him because he hasn't caught up with you yet, and you can just focus on improving your deck, whether it be through culling or through buying. And then he appears and you can lay as much of a hurt on him as possible. And then, like, if you can't finish him off, you escape again and you get more time. And so it's like you get to really enjoy both phases is one thing I like about this. Oh, before I did that, sorry, you should lay out your row before you do that. So let me see where I got him. Oh man, I had him placed perfectly. I should have taken these 5 off. Darn it. Because let me tell you what can end you faster than anything is when he pops up before you've gotten the ability to do any damage. And like it becomes like a death spiral. You might as well like give up if that happens. I'm going to put him where he was, which was 4 cards down. No, because then that's not fair, because then I will know that he's there. Because the whole thing is like there's this big push your luck aspect, because you're like, okay, how many of these cards do I draw? How long do I keep pushing? Like if I was using my weak character who I would want to avoid taking wounds, because if you get too many wounds, you die. Versus using my other character who is my better fighter. Carl is also who the Terminator becomes, the T-800. He can't die from wounds, so he's a really good one too. I like Grace because you can cull her deck so easily, and it still leaves you with a little bit of a threat. I don't know, Carl maybe is too much of an easy mode, I'm not sure. Okay, so that's your purchasing resource, and the bullets are your ability to do damage. It's actually been a couple weeks since I played this, so hopefully it's not too rough. Oh, so you see, when I found the key, I was like having trouble fitting some games on this, and then I realized that the edge of this holds it, just like one of my little card holding 3D printed things. And I mean, even better, I mean, it holds a whole row easily. So I've kind of tried to angle the camera so that you all can see it, but like, I really like this setup. I kind of even like playing with it here, although this game can get a little bit cramped. It can get a little bit cramped. Okay, so Sarah came out with a bunch of money. Now this is her starter card, and unfortunately it gets destroyed when you use it. Now this EMP grenade, like that's almost like a cheat mode. Like you want that if you're gonna, the EMP things will finish them off in one go. It's like there is sudden death here, but it's not for you. It's for the Rev 9, which is the name of this Terminator. Okay, so first card. Oh, that's bad. And I hadn't actually even drawn or purchased anything with her yet. I got the order. That is the one thing. This game messes me up a little bit. Probably more than like any game other than Baseball Highlights 2045 in the sequence that you go in. Okay, so that means he's going to hit her, and he's going to hit her for a lot of wounds. So I'm going to put this, you can play, it doesn't matter who buys something, they can put it into anyone's pile. So I'm going to put those into Grace's pile. Okay, so the problem is Sarah's not going to be able to do any damage, and she's only going to be able to do 2. So this is like literally the worst case scenario. So these are how this does damage. So 1, 2. So luckily this only does damage per munition in the reserve, and she bought the only munition. She gets 1 from this, wound the current player. So these red cards are bad. This one, wound the current player once per munition in the reserve. There aren't any. So these are going to go underneath. Now, that counted for 2. His hunt value is 5. So we're going to draw 3 more. And none of them were attacks. So everything that gets drawn on the hunt just gets burned. It's kind of like you can't slow down, to take advantage of anything. Okay, so he stays out. I'm switching over to Grace. She has the ability here to do... Okay, well, first we need to draw up to 4. And then draw 1. Oh my god. She's going to get just... That's a lot of negative cards. Okay. So I'm going to play this, and this is her starter special card. She draws 3 wounds. If any of them are a wound, you get an extra wound, but either way, you get 3 extra cards to work with, which is actually really valuable. So now I've got 4, which is a little bit rough because I would like to buy that, but I need this skill. This is going to let her take the first attack every time. She's the protector. So you can see that these are pictures from the movie, but I don't know. It's like I love it anyway. It's really kind of weird because it's not my usual preference. So even though I only spent 1, that whole hand gets burned, gets discarded. Now, she's going to put 2 wounds on him, and then we're going to flee. And because she put 2 wounds on him, we get to buffer this with 2 cards. Okay. So she's going to go again because he's going to pop up like immediately. Actually, see, I keep getting... Sorry about that. So I have to draw first and then play. There's a lot of shuffling in this, as in any of these deck builders where you discard your whole hand. That's one very nice thing about Eon's End. Okay, so we're going to put the skill up there, which lets me take the first attack. I've got 3. That's not enough to buy anything. I don't care about this. Destroy this card and draw 2 cards. That only counts when you're under attack. So I discard Draw up. See, and I already messed up something there. There's no reason that I should be doing this twice before he comes out, is there? I don't know. We're just going to have to keep it in mind for the next play. Apologize. In the best, even when I've got this in my mind, it's still, I can easily lose track of where I am. Okay, so we know who's here. He's right here. And he's going to wound me twice, at least. Then we're going to draw 1, 2, 3. Okay, so no attack cards there. Usually, so the way the rules actually go, you should only put the attack cards, the hostile cards, underneath the deck. But I've never actually gone through the whole deck, so especially when I was playing on my couch with my feet up, with this lap tray in front of me, I didn't want an extra discard pile. So I found that this works just fine. You can follow the rules strictly if you like, though. Okay, so let's hurt him twice with this. We're going to have to draw 3 cards. Oh, I've got the EMP, but it doesn't do it. The EMP only works if he's staggered, so his stagger value is right here. And if he's staggered, then I could use EMP and I could finish him off. But there's no possible way I'm doing 15 damage to him. I should have probably, actually, when I drew him as the first card, I should have probably just started over, because... So I'm going to take an extra wound from the 3 that I... drew. And there's nothing good to buy, so there's no point in doing that. So yeah, now you can destroy these, but obviously if he's out, then... Okay, so... it's now the reserve phase, and draw up to... Okay, so then you have to add a 5th, and then you could be able to choose to do more, but I'm not going to. Put all cards in the reserve at the bottom of the deck. Oh, that's cool, because there are a lot of attack cards and no decent cards here. The only problem is that I don't think I get to draw back up at this point, since that came out in the process. I don't know, do I? You're supposed to draw until it has 4. So I drew... Oh, I would have had to buy that and play that. Okay, so never mind on that. We will be able to use that. That's an easy way to get rid of everything, but we're not going to do it this turn. Okay, so these are all discarded. I needed to draw back up to 5, doing everything in the wrong order. So even with her, if she gets 3 wounds in hand, she dies. Game over. Okay, so who do we play now? She should have 5 cards sitting up. So we escaped, leaving the wounded. We wounded him just enough to escape. We are in a bad spot. Maybe an unwinnable spot. Okay, so I'm going to use, like, actually, I'm gonna discard these. Okay, and then I'm not gonna buy anything because I rested. I got rid of a wound and a blank card, a setback that doesn't do anything negative except it clogs up your hand. Okay, so now let's hope he's not the top card. He is not. So you have to draw one, and then you can choose to draw. Well, you have to draw up to 4, then you have to draw one past that, and then you can choose to draw. You have to draw up to 4 if you've gotten it down below 4. No matter what, you have to draw 1, and then you can choose to draw more than that. I am not choosing to draw more than that. I am choosing to spend another, well, okay, so that is the end of the reserve phase. So we're back to the player phase. So I'm going to stay with Grace, and I'm going to heal those, and that means I'm not using these. That means I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw up to back up to my hand. Okay, I have my attack here for when he pops up. If I got really lucky and he's not this card, then I'm going to buy this and wipe all that out. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, oh, I can't. I don't have the money. Oh, wait, never mind. I get to switch players after this. So that's the end of the reserve phase. So I guess I'm going to switch to Sarah. It doesn't, I don't know if I should switch to Sarah, though, because if I switch to Sarah, then she's going to take the wounds, and I prefer to avoid that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to use these two to buy this and put everything on the bottom of the deck, which means she is definitely, so we discard the rest of her hand, shuffle this up again, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay. Yeah, so there he is. My interpretation of the rules is you still have to draw up to 4 and then add a 5th. Okay, so it's got 2 attacks. Wound the current player once per munition in the reserve. There are no munitions in the reserve, which is getting really rough because I haven't been able to buy any weapons. So I can take one of them to her because of my protector skill, and the other one goes to Sarah, and then so these go away. One, 2, 3. Okay, lucked out. I'm getting pretty lucky with that. Okay, so now we choose who goes next. I mean, it has to be her because she's the only one who can do any damage. Gosh, this is beyond frustrating. This is when the game is not, I hate to say it, this is when the game is not fun. I should have just started over when he was the first one of those 5 cards, because I can't get anything. I can't get any weapons, so this is just going in circles. So I'm going to, You may swap a card from your hand or discard pile with a card from the current player's hand or discard pile. So I could get this. For 0. See, it's free. So, okay. I only have 1 currency, so I can't buy anything else. I can do 2 damage. Don't think I have other damage in here. Oh wait, so I can buy something now. So I have 3. And I can play this. I just realized I can play this. It just doesn't do the special effect. So I can do 3 damage. I should have been doing that earlier. Okay, so that 3 currency isn't enough to buy me anything. So I'm gonna do 3 damage to him, and then discard. Well, okay, so the reserve phase actually comes first, so I need to fill this up first. And this actually comes first. Tell me, guys. Don't watch my videos to learn how to play. Unless you like to do it to learn what not to do. That's why I used to not ever do playthroughs. Oh, big money. Okay. So now the reserve phase. So we go up to 5. You immediately flee the rev, so that's not coming into play here because I did 3 damage to him. So I'm gonna mix them up in here. I'm trying to play right, but I have played where half the damage I just separate off and I put on, and I set to the side, then I shuffle them into the bottom half, put that on, and then set the other half the damage on top. So I have at least half the time of, to prepare. Okay, so she actually has more money. So I'm going to have her go, which is good because then the heat can stay on her. This card may be played. You may swap a card from your hand or discard pile with a card from the current player's hand or discard pile. I don't have a card that I could swap right now, though, because all of them are money. So I could take her wound. I'll do that. Okay, so I'm gonna take these 2 weapons. Well, so the grenade is like a weapon that you have to buy every time you use it. It gets added back to the reserve, and a lot of these weapons use sorry about that. All these weapons you have to discard a card, and if you discard this extra ammo, you get to draw more cards. So you can get a little combo going. Okay, and I'm taking her wound, and I'm drawing. Yep, okay. So now we are at the reserve phase. So we get first one on there. Okay, have to draw up. Well, that is drawing up to 4 and then 5. Okay. You're supposed to slide these down, but it doesn't actually matter. I've never come across a card where it mattered what order they were in. Okay, so Mr. Endo is on the attack. Immediately flee the Rev 9. This gets resolved first, so he just goes on the top of the pile. Okay, so the play phase. Which character am I going to use? I guess I'm going to stick with her because we know that I'm about to be attacked. I've got a pile of... So I just decided to rest and cull 2 of her useless cards, which unfortunately I have to attack, and I have to discard her 1 useful card here, her 1 attack card. Well, she has a 2nd attack card that can do 1 damage. Okay, now it's the reserve phase, and we know what's going to happen immediately in the skeleton. So, let's see what he's going to do to us. So, no hostile cards in the row, so he's going to do his full 5. 1. Remove 5 damage from the Red 9. Okay, Rev 9. Haven't done any, so that's good. Remove 5 damage. Okay. Wow, that would have been very frustrating. I mean, I've had that happen, and it is extremely frustrating when you've done good damage to him and it just disappears like that. Let's split those up a little bit. It's hard to shuffle all these cards, so sometimes I think they get kind of bunchy. That many cards, I end up shuffling it in sections, and even so. Okay, well, we're going to go with her. Even if she steals a card, she can't buy anything, so we're going to use the EMP grenade to wound him, and that's it. Yeah, nothing else to do. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and take that 1 damage. I'm gonna put him underneath it. Okay, now it's the reserve phase, so we have to draw 1 card. Oh, I forgot to draw my hand. Wound every player. So if that comes out, then he wounds everyone. And that's no good. Since she doesn't have enough money to do any good. I'll play this and get rid of this, do 2 damage to it. And I need to draw 3 more cards. Oh, okay, I have some money here. So I have 4 currency. I'm going to buy the grenade launcher. I would buy the cash if I could afford it. Okay, so player turn done. That would have been that would have been a better hand to have against him because I could do a little bit more damage and maybe get enough time to actually make some progress. That's actually a good hand, except this is not useful until I get a weapon that requires discarding. Okay, we knew he was in there. Moves 5 damage. Okay, so that's the reserve phase. You've never even seen the push your luck aspect of where you draw more cards hoping to find something to buy, because he's been there every time. So that's one. See, this weapon requires you to discard a card. So if I discarded that, I would get to draw 2 more cards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with Grace again. Go with Grace, that's funny. And we don't have enough money to buy anything. We're going to play this high explosive grenade, which is going to put it back into the reserve. And we are going to mix him in with 3 cards. We're going to hope and pray that it ends up at the bottom of those. Okay, see, then that's how you get messed up, is that like I didn't draw myself a new hand. I just apply the damage right away. That's the hard part. That's what messes me up every single time. And I don't think it's poor design. I don't know how else it would be. This is playing out logically, like the way that it needs to, but it just messes me up every time. Okay, so I've got my hand here. I need to... Okay, it's not even time for that. Okay, so now it's the player's phase. So I just saw that I'm going to have a second. Do I have 2 turns? Like, can she go... Okay, I'm going to have Sarah go. I already cheated and accidentally and saw, but... So she's going to spend 2 on this grenade that I just used and give it back to her. She's going to draw up to 5. Oh. When you use these, you're not supposed to keep them. So, draw her last card. Okay. So now, so the reserve phase, we have to draw up to 5. So we knew that one was going to be good. Oh my gosh, that's some luck. So that becomes free, and that becomes 1. So I'm saying we stick with Sarah here. Do we? Because then I can save, then I can, yeah, because, okay, I'm gonna, then I can come in and I can blast him with the grenade launcher to get rid of him. Otherwise I'll have to discard it. Now if I hit him with the grenade launcher, I also then get to take a grenade from out of my discard pile. And so we can actually start making a little bit of progress. Okay, so Sarah's going to go. She's going to buy these 2 things. It's only going to cost her 1. Unfortunately, she doesn't have enough to buy anything else, even though she has 2 more resources left after making that purchase. So now she needs to draw up to 5. It's funny because I always knew that there was something in this that messed me up, and I actually hadn't logicked it out yet, and it's that you need to sit there and wait to apply the damage until 2 phases later in the turn, and I will just apply it immediately if I'm not really being careful. Okay, so she is the active player, and there we go, there he is. So, he is going to go at her for 5. So there's 1 wound. They have 3 wounds in their discard pile, they die. Luckily it doesn't give another wound, and there's only 1, so let's draw 1 more. Okay. Survived to fight another day. You really feel relentlessly pursued, don't you? Like, wow. I mean, it's one of the most intense little experiences that I know of. And I like the trade between being calm because he's not out and not having, like with Eon's Under something, it seems like you're always having to make a decision about handling one of the other minions or plots that are going on. With him, if he's not out, then you don't have to deal with it. And if he is out, then it's absolute terror. Okay, so I'm going to play that EMP grenade. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play that. And I'm going to play this and take that. Oh, I need to exchange it, so I'm going to exchange it for that. And that's going to let me buy the hospital to heal some wounds. So each player can destroy 2 wounds from either hand or discard pile, but not from deck, which means if I have any wounds in there, I'm out of luck. I only get to destroy 1. Okay, so that means that I will do 6 damage. Thank goodness. Okay, so let's do this right and finish out that. Now, now is the hunt phase, and I did 6 damage, and we're going to flee because we did some damage. We're going to escape and live to fight another day. Okay. I really wish that I could, like, keep track while shuffling. Just cheat. You know, this, you got to buy every time you use it. So yeah, I wish I could have gotten rid of that. Oh, I need to shuffle this. I can't just take it from my discard pile. Oops. With all because I've been so worried about about how close the Terminator is, so I've been keeping it on Grace when she doesn't have enough money to buy anything. Well, neither of them had enough money to buy anything, so it really was just the obvious choice to go with her, because she can heal so quickly. She's got a very nicely culled deck. If I can just get some weapons into it, we're going to have a real good time. Okay, so we've got to draw 1 card. I don't know what I do. I do this so often. Just non-stop. I put 6 damage on him. Out of the 7 cards, he ends up first. Okay. Okay. So he's coming at her. Place each non-hostile card in the reserve at the bottom of the Fate deck. I wanted to buy that stuff so bad. It doesn't do damage to me, at least, but also it makes it so that I need to refill the okay, so he's out here on the hunt. He didn't do any damage to me. It's my turn. I mean, I think the only thing that could have been a game changer. If I had him down, a few cards down in there, I could have bought some weaponry, and that could have changed the whole complexion of this game. As it is, I'm wondering if I'm going to get another lucky break like that. Draw 3 cards. Okay, I have to keeping the location. See, the location cards, you buy them and you use them right away, and then they go at the bottom of the deck. That and the hostile cards are the only ones that are supposed to go at the bottom of the deck. I might actually burn through the whole deck this time as slow as I'm damaging, or as slow as I'm building up. Add this card to the reserve. Okay, so I can play this one. I've got nothing to buy. So you can see how tacky this surface is. It's an old yoga mat. It makes it so you can easily play this with a game like this in your lap, and the cards don't slide anywhere. It makes it hard to push the cards around, though. that is the drawback. I typically would not be playing at the table with it. Okay, so need to draw 5. Okay, I draw up to this is the reserve phase, so you draw 4, then draw 1 more. See, these EMP rounds, they kind of feel like cheating a little bit. When this card is discarded, gain +1 fight. If the Rev 9 was dealt 10 damage this turn, destroy it. The thing is that this is going so poorly that I am going to buy those, and I will take the win. I don't care. There have been times when I've taken the win like that where I knew that I could finish him off eventually, where I was really on the right path, and I felt like, oh, that was kind of anticlimactic. And I told myself, okay, you're not going to do that if you're ahead. I'm not ahead this time. I don't know if you've noticed. By the way, I keep groaning and moaning. Okay, so I just about showed myself those cards for no reason. Is that good? Is that a good one? Okay, player turn. I'm just gonna keep taking her money, which doesn't make any sense. Like, because I want the EMP ammo. No. Okay, who am I gonna have go? She can't afford the EMP ammo. She can't afford anything right now. Okay, I'm gonna have Sarah play and hope to draw some money next time. Okay, and I'm actually going to use my hand that over card because she can play this whether it's her turn or not, and I'm going to trade money back to her and get this EMP grenade, and then I'm going to buy this and give it to her. So there we go. Figured it out. Okay. Wow. Drew 2 cards without coming across the Terminator. That's nuts. Okay, so no hunt phase, since the Terminator actually isn't out. We're going to continue. Ooh, Steel Plant. If the Rev 9 is staggered, destroy it. That's cool. I think we're going to continue with Sarah. She's only got 2 monies. I haven't been able to build up her stock of monies. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all she can do. She can't afford the EMP rounds. She's scrimping and saving. Got a paper route and everything. Oh my gosh. Wait, what did I do last time? Did I have her do something? Because I need to get rid of these setback cards. Guys, did she play something? I don't see anything that she bought. She had enough to buy one thing. Right? It was like a skill. Yeah. Was it there? Okay, I'm not gonna give myself... I would love to just ditch some of these, but I'm not gonna do it. There he is! Okay, so 1 wound to her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see. Nope. 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 And 1 more. She's getting kind of wounded up. Nobody is well equipped to face him at this exact moment, unfortunately. I want to buy that shotgun so bad. Okay, so we'll do 1 damage to him. That's it. Reserve, draw 1 card. Oh, wound every player. Okay, he gets buried. Okay, I'll do it. I actually didn't keep track. I don't know which is which. That one should have gone before, so I actually should have drawn another card to put in the reserve. That's kind of too bad. And I forgot to draw up. And that's not good because that wound is in her discard pile. There are some wounds in here. I know that because I've discarded so many other cards that a bunch of these have to be wounds. Okay, well, that's a problem, this right here, because, okay, so we'll put that out. After you play a grenade, every hostile card and the Terminator takes 1 damage. Do you see that handful of beautiful weaponry? There's no Terminator out here, and I'm going to end up having to discard it before I can actually use it. I've got no money, so there's no buying anything. What I have here. Okay, well, there he is. Oh wow, that's a nice card. Yeah, when counting tough, when counting wounds in your card or discard pile, count the total as 1 less. That's I've never come across this. I've had this game for a long time, and that's a new card. Well, it's at least the first. You end up passing through so many cards. You can, and there are a ton here. You can end up missing one for a bunch of games. I've played this game quite a few times. Okay, so Rev 9's going to go after me. There's no attacks out, no hostile cards out, so he's just going to go straight for the throat. There's 1 wound. It's bad, bad, bad. 3, 4, 5, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go with her, I guess. I'm gonna buy this, obvi. And I'm gonna, well, I can't just put it up there. Gotta put it in your, and I don't even have anything to hurt him with. If I had some wounds in my hand, I would have gotten rid of them instead of buying that skill. Okay, so there are my 5 cards. Now he's... Okay, now we play up to the level. Stash. I need to get that in Sarah's hands. A lot of skills there. Nothing. Wow, lucked out. Okay. Shoot. I like to steal Sarah's money. I want to steal it and buy this resource and then give it to her. You see? I'm so... Oh, I get to draw 3 more cards. This is dangerous because if I get... First of all, if I draw out any wound at all... Oops. Then I take another wound. And if I draw 2 wounds out of these 3 cards, which is quite possible, I think. Okay, no wounds, so I don't take a wound. Ooh, and I get to play my tough skill. Now I can have 4 wounds in hand. That's useful. Okay, so we'll just... I'm going to buy these with these 3, and I'm going to give that to Sarah. And I'm going to use this high explosive grenade along with this to attack him. And we're going to hold off on doing it and finish the round correctly, if you can believe it. Yeah, this game usually does not take this long, but sometimes when it starts like this, that's when it's going to take you a while. Okay. So this actually has to go back up there. And so the reserve phase, it's already up. Wait, no, I have to draw 1 no matter what. Oh, and it's an attack. I don't think that, because he's not going on the hunt, it's not going to use that yet. Okay, so let's put him in 3 cards from the... Oh no, 5. Because I had this and the grenade. See, this is the part that's a little bit inelegant. I don't know how it would be fixed. Oh, I know how it would be fixed. I would do what I'm supposed to, which is put tokens on him to show how much he's hurt. But I hate fiddling with... I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to use my counter here. Yeah, that's why I'm getting myself into trouble. It's not the game designer's fault in the slightest. Okay. Okay, player turn. Who are we going to select? We're going to select good old Sarah. We're going to use some of that to put that in there. And then we're going to... Okay. Now it's looking better. Now let's see. So that's 5, so we're good. Okay, so we're going to have her go again. I think we are, because that would cost 5, and I can buy these 2 weapons right now off the jump. How many wounds does she have sitting in here? It makes me want to riffle shuffle so that I can be sure that they are not stacked up, because she sat so long just catching damage occasionally. Okay, let's draw it up. Ooh. And there he is. And he's going after her. So one of these I can absorb with her because of her protector skill. One of these goes to her. And then draw 3 more. 1, 2, oh gosh. 3, okay. Maybe I should have made a separate pile to discard those into. Okay, so... And look at, I have no weapons in my hand. This is so wild. Okay, so I'm going to go with her. She's a demolitions expert now. It's her skill. So she can do 2 damage with the CMP grenade and do 1 damage to each of those. I'm going to get out some little tokens for that. I'm going to use some delightful wooden ones. It makes a lot of sense with the theme of this game. Being practically a pastoral tale. Okay, so he gets 2. 1, 2. This card goes back to the frickin' reserve. Okay, so that's it. And then we draw up 4 cards, 2 wounds in hand. It's getting out of hand if you ask me. Hey yo. Another thing about this tacky surface is it's horrible for doing riffle shuffling because you can't slide them together at all, so you have to just set it down in exactly the right spot. Okay. Okay, so he gets mixed in with 2 now. Well, actually the reserve phase, so... Wait, those went away. Okay, so we go up to 4 and 5. Okay, so then he goes on the hunt, except we're gonna run. We're gonna run. Okay. Who's gonna go? Grace is gonna go for sure. She doesn't have any monies. But she can get rid of some wounds. She can rest up. Ooh, that's a nice card. That is nice. I'm pushing my luck. I'm gonna go with Sarah so that I can buy Okay, so we go with Sarah again? I think so, because that's a nice heavy-hitting little setup right there. Oh wait, no. I don't even have enough cards to discard to be able to... I could have added this, so this revolver you can add to the top of your deck. I could have added it to the top of my deck when I purchased it. So I've got 4. I'm going to play her, even though it's risky because she has enough wounds in there that I worry about her getting enough to end the game. Okay, so that was her currency. I wish that I could buy and discard in the same round. Okay, she's got a little money. Let's see what happens. Oh, and he's back. Okay. And he's on the hunt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, nothing. And the fun part is that if he is staggered, he draws 7 cards when he comes up. Okay, so obviously it's time to switch characters here. We're gonna go ahead and play the shotgun, and it'll discard, so that it'll do 2 damage. I wish that we could also do this, but we have to discard 2 cards per. So we can't. Okay. So he's damaged by 4. You know, my hip still hurts, so I'm actually having a problem. A little bit of pain right now. Okay. So there's our new hand. Wait a minute. Yeah, so now we hide him in 4 cards. Well, first, actually, we have to draw a card. Oh, remove 5 damage from the red 9. Luckily, he is not going on the hunt. So we do 4 damage with the shotgun. Oh no. One of those is an attack card. It's a hostile card. Okay. Okay. I'm going to... Oh wait, I didn't have to... Oh, do you have to add it? The Revenant Stagger, destroy it and add this card to the reserve. I had previously read this as if it's staggered, then you destroy the Rev 9 and you add the card to the reserve, which wouldn't make sense to you. You think, well, you beat the boss, why would you do that? But there's the mode where you end up fighting 3 of them, essentially. But I'm thinking you have to add it to the reserve regardless if you use it. So I guess that was the right action. That's an extremely expensive card, and I don't think that I at all was able to afford that. I don't know how I got it earlier. I must have read that maybe as a 3, or I don't know. Could review the footage. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play with her. I'm going to buy this for Sarah. So that cost me 2 of my money. And I'm going to use my augment. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Hold on. I'm going to retcon this real quick because I might have enough money to buy something more useful. I did draw 1 more money, so I could buy 1 more. Nah, I do think that this is the best. Do you think this probably is the best? Yeah. They'll bring in a ton of money. Okay, and I'm going to use the 2 damage from this to destroy this. Okay, let's see. Look at that. I mixed him in with 4 cards, and he's the top of all of them. Top of the 5. I'm telling you, I'm really good at that. I forgot to draw a new hand. Because that is what I do. So the way it works in a case like this is, you see, he got drawn during the reserve phase. I'm not very good at shuffling once it gets to this many cards. Shuffling like this. Gets to the reserve. So that was the play phase, and I need to draw. What I forgot to do was draw enough cards for her. And then the reserve phase. So that's when I had to. You have to do 1 card, no matter how many you're out. You have to top up to 4, and then if you've got at least 4, though, you have to play at least 1. So now he's on the hunt. I do have some pretty good weapons here, though. So 1. So that's 1 damage. 2. Immediately flee the red 9. Oh, Rev 9. Okay, so it's actually not good because I could have buried him. And now he's just sitting right there. So now I have to decide who to go with. I say that because this is a relatively good hand of weapons, because I have the extra ammo here. That'll let me draw 2 more cards when I discard it with this. And I have a high explosive grenade. So I've got the possibility of doing significant damage if I go with her, so that I don't have to discard it, and I don't know what I'll get out of here. I'm gonna go with Sarah. I'm just gonna be crazy. And I'm gonna actually heal her instead of buying, which is nuts also. Oof, see, getting ugly. I would have drawn a 3rd, it would have been game over. Okay, so there he is. Okay, so he's going to attack her. Let's see what there's nothing out here. So 1, it's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, lucked out. I'm going to play her and get rid of those wounds, but first I need to lay him out. So we're gonna go with grace. We're going to use the revolver, and we're going to discard these two. Now this one is going to let me draw 2 more cards. And I didn't draw another weapon, which would have been really nice. That's okay. So we get to mix them in with 6 cards. I could take one of her, I could take one of her wounds, but I don't think I'm going to because it's good that they're in hand because I can get rid of them. So let's leave that be. 6 damage. Grenade goes back. Rest of these go here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this game can overstate its welcome against some of the higher bosses, higher level bosses, especially if you draw bad in that first time. I honestly would say start off with you could start off making sure that you have a couple cards padding so you can do a little deck building first. Because it's amazing how much it slows things down, and you get into this cycle when you have bad luck at the beginning and have him right at the top. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go with her. She's just not even gonna buy anything. Okay, I'm gonna go with her. She's not even gonna buy anything. I'm gonna go with her. Just gonna. Oh, I forgot. I should have been. Hold up. I'm playing very, very silly. So last time she should have had 2 more cards here. So I'm going to take one of these setbacks back into my deck and get rid of that wound. Okay, and then you still get to draw. Even if you rest, you still get to draw up to 5. Okay, so she's got 5 money. She's gonna buy some weapons. Yeah, nice. This is the sort of game where there's so much shuffling that I might want to use sleeves. But this stack, when you sleeve it, is so ridiculously wobbly and so tall, like it won't fit back in this little box with anything but penny sleeves. And penny sleeves are the slipperiest sleeves of all, right? Okay, so we're gonna draw up and hope that he's not there. Thank goodness. Okay. Now, we're going to switch characters. I'm not pushing my luck any further. So I'm going to play that skill. And I'm going to buy that grenade. Game does not usually go this long, but that rough start. It definitely can. It's happened to me before. Okay, so I can push my luck here. Like, do I want to encounter him with what I have? So I can, because when I can keep drawing until he pops up and then use this hand. That's part of the strategy. That's part of the fun decision space, is that I can just keep drawing. I can find him if I want to. Now, I might fill up this whole little tray table and have to scooch things down. But I know that he's only so many cards down there. Do I have a grenade in here? I do have a grenade, so I could pull out another. I could pull out another card to use that with that. And I can draw 3 more when I use that. This is actually kind of a good hand to face him with. If I had an EMP round, that would be chef's kiss, because there's no way I'm doing the 30 damage necessary to him off the bat. I could leave him out, because you can leave him out. You don't have to flee. Let's do it. Oh, there he is. Okay. So, this is the reserve phase. So now he's been drawn, so it's the end of the reserve phase. So now we check to see. So there's 1. Wound the current player once per munition in the reserve. 1, 2, 3. Goodness gracious, that's so bad. I'm not so brave anymore. Wound every player. Wow, that was not good. Okay, so I'm going with Grace. Gonna play this. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2. No wound yet. Oh my god, I've got an EMP round. As long as I don't draw, I'm gonna flip these. No, I can just riffle shuffle. And I'm gonna draw 1 more card. So there's no danger of having 3 if I can finish him off in this turn, and I think I can. I think I just lucked into a win, because I'm fairly certain I can do 2 damage or 10 damage after having drawn that many of those extra cards, rather. Wound. I knew it. I knew that it was going to be a wound, but so I had another wound. I mean, it's not that hard to guess that I would have wound as many times as I got wounded in that last round. Okay, so, but you can use wounds as discard fuel, I'm pretty sure. You can't play it, but you can discard it. There is actually one of these where you can use it and as discard cards, and it gives you a +1 to the weapon that you're using. Oh wait, this has to be discarded by ammunition, so we're gonna use this. And this adds +1. And then I'm going to use this, and with this, oh man, I don't have a grenade in my discard pile anymore. Does this add up? It does add up to 10 anyway. Oh, that's very lucky. So it adds up to 11. I did 11 damage. And then we send this EMP round. Zzz, Rev 9's fried. You gotta do the sound effects from the video game generation. Okay, so we won. This is a pretty full lap tray right now, but I mean, I did play it a handful of times when I was unable to sit at my card table for an hour. Okay, so this gives you an idea of how Terminator Dark Fate plays under like the most stressful of circumstances. Usually, you've got a little bit more wiggle room. Um, and it's not that the setup is very fast. It's fast to break back down. It is not fast to shuffle and be confident that you have split everything up evenly. But you only have to do that once. How you do it at the end of the game, or you could do it or at the start. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this playthrough, and I'm going to be doing a review of this game soon. I've got a bunch of more affordable, small laptop or lap board sized games that I'm going to be putting reviews out. So be looking forward to that stuff. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and remember to keep playing solo.